What's up, world? It's your girl, Shirley Pearl, back with another video, and this one is for my main show, Married to Medicine, Season 12, Episode 6. And the title of this episode is All in the Family. So, before we get started, let's just let it be known everything I say is alleged and strictly my opinion. And yeah, I'm going to be very opinionated. So, get into it. So, if you can get with that, you can get with me. And here we go. So, the episode starts off with the medical people at work. First, Dr. Jackie, I guess she didn't been catching babies. She said she tired. It's 2:00 in the morning, and the babies need to go to sleep either in or outside the uterus. She probably got a bed on site, and it looked like she was going home because you know them babies come when they want to. Then it pans to pretty little Angel, and she was like, it's been a shift. One of her patients can't keep his clothes on. But I'm like, girl, all that wagon you dragging, he probably think it's time to get to it. But they probably gotta have security at the hospital for you. I hope your scrubs don't be all stank tight, because I'll be seeing some of the people at the hospital and it be looking like leggings. It don't be too cute. It don't. It be very stanky dank. But we know you got a scrub line, but yeah, girl, you probably can't conceal that thing. That thing that you say natural. Okay. Then we pin to Dr. Mimi. I guess the people, she a psychiatrist, so they didn't really took her through there today. So yeah, she like it's been a day. And then she goes past, I guess her husband is the COO, Chief Operating Officer, but he wasn't even there. So she like, pray for her. Girl, prayers up. All right. So let's get to the meat and potatoes. So we pan over to Choir House, and Angel's there, and Angel's like, let me tell me all about your trip, in Ghana. How did it go? And she all giddy. So the next person that show up is Heavenly, looking like Damon, dressed like Damon, and some scrubs. So basically Heavenly like, oh, them shots making you a little thick. And she like, girl, yeah. It's them shots or Dr. Miami, allegedly. But anywho, yeah. So the next person that show up is Contessa, looking like, I don't want to be a man. I want to move something, just short little dress, boobs out, look like she about to go try out for Soul Train or something. I don't know where Contessa be going. I don't know where she be getting these fashions. Yeah, it just don't say doctor. I'm sorry. And I know you what you said, you almost 50, but baby, we're gonna have to get you a stylist, Contessa. And I know you like it, and maybe Scott like it, but I don't like it. But I'm just giving my opinion. I don't mean nothing. So basically, Quad tells them that they got 4 eggs, and the doctors got to do their thing, and if the eggs take and fruition into it to be something for a baby to be created, then yeah, she cooking with grease, So yeah, she, the eggs got to be fertilized, and then they're gonna make an embryo, make a baby, and all of that. Yeah. So yeah, good luck, Quad. But we're gonna touch back on that at the end of this review. Okay, I'm gonna just keep it moving, keep it rolling. I already did another video for Potomac, so now let's just keep it rolling. So it pans to King pulling up at a barbershop in a Ferrari red drop top. Do it, boy. I need to see the VN on that to give it to Simone, I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to see something. But nah, so he go to the barbershop, and already at the barbershop is Eugene and Cecil. So basically, they asked him how was his trip and everything, and how's it going. And again, this guy basically says that it's a lot. It's a lot. This is supposed to be one trip. We've been there 5 times. It's a lot catering to someone's need and neglecting your own. I had time away from my daughter, time away from work. It's a lot. Right there lets you know that he is tired of this process and he don't want no other kids. He thought he was one and done with his daughter. And you're going to have to respect that, Quiet. I'm tired of the malarkey. You hear me? I'm tired of malarkey. You don't want no baby, don't bring no baby in here with no man that don't want no baby. Because you can listen to the old women say, honey, you think you having a baby to keep a man, it'll run him off faster, honey. Okay? And that's from the old school women. Okay? So Eugene basically says, we see you supporting her, and you putting in the time, and but Cecil was saying, yeah, but you want to have a conversation and let them know, what's the alternatives? What else can we do? And he was like, but when you had them deep conversation, when is the time? Like he's saying, basically, he ain't gonna never why Simone on call her and have a deep conversation. But I just feel like that's fair. If a person is telling you that they tired of the process or it's going a little longer, okay, I'm jumping ahead. We'll get to that. So anyway, it pans back to Quiet House. And she was asking what's going on, while she was in Ghana. So they said they made some purses. Then they let it be known that Toya and Heavenly got into it at the purse making place, Simone event. So Contessa basically said that they got into it. And they're like, what y'all get into it about it? And Heavenly is like, she always said I'm talking about her husband, but she was talking about my son. And I'm trying to figure out. Now I caught some shade whenever, but Heavenly wasn't around. She wouldn't have knew that when she was telling Simone that her Father's Day post was shady. And I don't know why you can't see it shady. She was like, we good. We got a good marriage. My kids good, this and that. I caught that shade, because, her son in the legal and all that. And basically, Contessa said, well, I wonder if Simone looked you up because she was trying to get the VIN on that Rolls Royce. And they was like, what? She be looking people up? And so Quad is like, we be in all type of stuff. She naming all these extravagant cars that they be in. Sound like somebody has like a rental car service for luxury cars. And that's all the rave with proms, with weddings and this and that. You can't afford to buy it or pay the note, but baby, you can rent it. So I don't know if that's what he do, but they was like, Simone be looking people up, So Simone, shit. I guess you'll speak to it at the reunion. I guess some people just nosy like that. And I'm gonna be honest. I know people that's nosy like that. They looking up estimated price. There's people in my family like that. Any information they can get on something they want to know. And I mean, at this point, you got to be like, well, is it just straight up curiosity or is it just you don't believe I got what I got? And for me, I think it's you don't believe I got what I got in Simone. I could be wrong, allegedly, but whatever. So then we pan to Dr. Mimi. She and her G-Wagon, her son in the back. He's seeming a little overly stimulated. And, she's like, I'm hoping he don't throw something at my head. Well, girl, what he got back there to throw? Because shoes, everything could be out. He'll just be sitting in his car seat with some clothes on. So she gets him in the house and she tells him that the daddy, Steve, is coming. And he like, Daddy not home? And so he comes in, he consoles the boy. And she said her daughter is over at the grandparents because they don't want her to feel like that she has to um they feel like she gets to be or deserve to be a 7-year-old and she don't have to always tend to her brother, who has outbursts and, get stimulated. They just want her to have some time and it be all about her, and give her a break. And I mean, that's fair. I never really thought of it like that, how the kids take the brunt of it. When they have siblings that maybe the parents have to cater to more because of special needs and they may feel left out. So, I mean, that's pretty, that's good they doing that they have the support system because a lot of people don't even have the support to have their kid go nowhere. And you can't trust your kid, everybody. It has to be a trusted source like the grandmother or, a sibling or something. But, a lot of times everybody work and, they got their own life going on. I don't know how old Dr. Mimi is, but like say if she's 40 or late 30s, she might have a parent that's still working. But I don't know. She could be older or whatever. So, you just be, handling yourself the best you can. It don't be no outlet. So she basically lets her husband know that work was real stressful, and it takes a toll on her. You listening to stories that are, she's a psychiatrist. So people telling her stuff that they don't tell the world, deepest, darkest secrets and different things, and basically she lets him know she can't cook. She wish she could. She can't cook. And before you even know it, the little boy got the lamp in the other room. So, they run in there to get him. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I mean, they seem like loving parents and they down for the task. And I really think he'll be all right, with especially with two involved parents. So yeah, I wish Mimi luck. Every time I see that scene with the son, it really touched me, because that's just, you don't get that on TV what people go through when they have special needs. I don't know, but yeah, they both got Mercedes, they got a lucrative business, seems successful, but God has put this on them, to challenge them or grow them in a different way. But I think the dad does excellent with the son. And I think that's needed. And I think he's gonna be all right. So anyway, we pan to the next scene now. This seemed like a scheme that Todd set up to come to us with the bullshit. So Heavenly at some little Chinese restaurant asking the lady if her hair look all right. She must be a goddamn regular. So she's sitting there and she waiting for somebody to come in, right? I'm thinking it's her son, because the situation. She said she fussed him out and she hadn't seen him. So they show somebody walking in, they don't even show their face. I'm like, oh, her son, that's, So it's her brother. Yeah, I know you asking, what brother? They've been on this 12 years. What brother? This some brother that then came up to the office, her dentist office, basically saying he her brother. And she didn't accepted it. I don't know if some blood tests been done. They went through the family history, but she's saying that he looked like her daddy, his sons look like her daddy, and she asked him how old he is. He said he 59 because she like her parents was married before she was born, and she 54. So basically, she like, my daddy had secrets and had some kids off to the, while we was married. So she asked him, what do you know? Do your mother tell you anything about him? And he was like, he seen him when he was little, and I'm just like, I don't know about y'all. And I know I listened to somebody others talking about they kind of favor and they think that's her brother. But baby, I think the next thing gonna be his business he trying to start up, and he needs a 100,000 in startup money. Allegedly. No, I don't know, but people run scams every day. This the scamming. This is the most scamming I ever seen. Generation in the last 10 years, baby. So. I'm like, she been on this TV all these years, and you just decided to come up. They close in complexion, but I mean, that shit don't mean nothing. But she said her dad was a deacon at the church. She didn't know he was out here creeping. And she basically tells him, that one of her boys, he had a problem and went to jail. And he tells her he dealing with the same thing. And she don't know where he at. She want to find him and this and that. So Heavenly invites him to her family reunion, tell him to bring his family. Come on, she having ribs, chicken, and everything. Come on down, bring your family. And yeah, So he agrees, and we gonna see how that go. But baby, it will have to be a blood test, because somebody, unless it's Oprah coming talking about some, I gave you up at birth. I don't want to hear nothing about nobody talking about they my sibling. Okay? But anywho, so it pans to the next scene, and we got Heavenly, right? She in the kitchen talking. I don't know who called who. She might have called I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. It pans to Cecil and Simone. And they basically talking about this macaroni and cheese. And he was like, his macaroni and cheese come from an old recipe 75 years ago from the heart of Texas, but he from LA. And ain't nobody gonna be able to beat him. So she like, I want this Eugene cooking. They paying to Eugene, and Eugene son is doing the cooking, making a roux too. Ashton. And Toya like, yeah, Ashton gonna win this thing. And Eugene like, I taught him 90% of everything I know, so he good. you know but at the beginning of the scene, Jackie called Jackie, or Heavenly calls her. They on FaceTime, and she trying to ask Dr. Jackie how to make macaroni and cheese. We know that Dr. Jackie don't cook. That's why Curtis was running his ass up and through the airport trying to get somebody to cook for him, spend some time, do a little something strange. So, I don't think Heavenly Ass can cook either. I don't know if Damon is the cook in their house. Because why is you asking Jackie? So Jackie is telling her to boil the water for 40 minutes. And Heavenly like, girl, it say 4 to 6 minutes. She was like, baby, stick to vaginas. So it pans to back to Simone's house. And they get into a little heated discussion. And she's saying that she used to cook all the time. And basically, Cecil like, yeah, macaroni in the box. And she started laughing or whatever. But she was like, she don't feel like they appreciate her, the boys and everything. And she tells him she just decided people that don't give a fuck about her, she ain't gonna give a fuck about them. And Cecil becomes emotional. He like, who don't give a fuck about you? And he like, who you talking about? Who you trying to say? And so she basically says that it's weighed on her, the situation, that him and the boys has ever tried to take something off her plate. And so he like, I don't take stuff off your plate. I don't take stuff off your plate. And what can you do to make life easier for her? and he becomes real emotional. It become a heated scene, and I'ma just say you can see evident that he loves Simone. He do. He loves Simone. He love his wife, and he didn't want to get too hyped because Simone get to yelling, walk off, whatever. But it was just he basically said he can do something wrong and he can apologize, and she was like, I, he said, just like if you say something wrong, you can apologize. And he was like, basically, I could have married somebody nice and gentle and quiet. And she was like, I'm nice and gentle. He's like, yeah, when you sleep. So they laughed it off. So it became a heated moment and then turned around being a funny moment. And they got good uh laughing moments together. So we leave that scene. So we get to the day of Heavenly's family reunion, and what she got is all of the people, like whatever family you is in, you got a color. Like um she had like a aqua blue or a light blue, Toya and them had yellow. She has these little cards matching, or little, I don't know if they stickies or whatever. She has pink for Jackie, but you can put it in this slot box and vote on the macaroni and cheese, because they have a macaroni and cheese cook-off. I think that's a cute idea, and people probably will copy that for their family reunion. You're gonna be a lot of constipation too, so make sure you bring something to clear that thing out. But yeah, so Dr. Jackie gets there. I don't see Dr. Jackie with no package. I don't know if Curtis is the cook or whatever. But there you got Damon and her other son. So she asks the other son, "Is your brother coming?" And he was like, "I don't know. You talked to him?" She was like, "Well, I texted him and told him." And she asked him, her son, her youngest son, "Have you spoken to him?" Because it's Damon Jr. And he was like, "Yeah, about 2 weeks ago." So in the confessional, her husband, Dr. Damon, said, "We always been a close knit family, and this is rough. If nobody showed up and he showed up, that would be enough." And I just thought that was really, really nice. So next you got Simone. She wearing orange. And she lets it be known that growing up, she always did family reunions, so she's used to it. And I'm a person where I don't think my family has ever had a family reunion for whatever reason. It's another story for a different day. But, I've been to some other people's, but, if the family ain't tight, close, or whatever, so much mess, then it ain't gonna be no reuniting. So Toya gets there, her family's in yellow, and Toya was like, "Yeah, where your other son? This is the one that's always here." And Heavenly go right to her confessional and was like, "This bitch, that's why her man dick still little." See, Heavenly, that shit is not fair to Eugene. If you like Eugene, why you keep hitting him? Why you can't hit Toya in something? She must be so perfect to you that you just can't. It's just weird. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't like that, because Eugene is nice. He don't even be in the mess. He ain't no Peter Thomas. It's just not right. It's just not right. So next you have Angel. Well, no, you had Dr. Mimi. They got green. And I don't know who cooked the macaroni, but she come in with the macaroni covered up. We never did see the visuals of the macaroni and cheese. So they go to the confessional and she asks her husband, "How was how was your family reunions?" Because she said she from the South and they always did family reunions. So he was like, he don't know who his daddy is. And his mama said it could be some nigga named Edwin. So he don't even know. And I just was like, wow, you threw your mama under the bus like that? It's giving Mama was a Rolling Stone. She ain't can't narrow it down. I just thought that was weird, but okay. A fatherless child. So anywho, and Simone has on orange. So Quiet pulls up. And she thinks she about to go on and close it out. Cause I think at one point Quiet had I think Quiet had a cookbook that was for sale. So yeah, she pulls up, they all in a Ferrari looking like money, you know. And I guess she had her macaroni. I ain't see it, but yeah, she do this. Them other girls don't know how to cook. Angel comes, she got on light blue. And it's so funny because Angel real pretty. She came with a guy and her family, her kids. But Dr. Simone son, he must have noticed her and was like, who's she married to? And they was like, she not married. What you want to be stepdaddy? Yeah, because she look youthful or whatever. She a pretty girl. Can't deny that. So I can't even remember if she had any macaroni and cheese in her hand. But, they just come up. She got a guy. He's a doctor, right? And he's I guess they're dating. And Toya is over there man in the box, like just man in the box, like her son gonna win. He got the best macaroni and this, that, and the other. So Heavenly pulled Simone to the side and was like, girl, this bitch trying to take over the thing. So anyway, long story short, I don't know if Toya was cheating. People was different confessionals saying that lady was putting more. But if his macaroni and cheese was so good, girl, you shouldn't have had to pad the box. Just let it come out honestly. We know Eugene do everything and he a good man. And if your son is following in his footsteps, then it probably was gonna be good. So anyway, we don't know. So she was like, you gonna take this away from a 15-year-old child? It was like a little trophy and everything, but whatever, Toya, whatever. And yeah, so we moving on to the next thing. Heavenly brother comes and she introduced him and everybody looking like brother. And Toya like, you didn't went out here and fought you a brother. And so Dr. Mimi and them looking like, if somebody pull up saying they my brother, they ain't getting in. And what I did like is that they bought their daughter and their son and they was playing games with the sons. They didn't have to do, to me, too much, long as he's engaged, he was all right. So off to the side, Angel and her doctor friend sitting. Toya bring her little. We would have been in there fighting, Toya. Let me just tell you this right now, Detroit. We would have been in there fighting. She come up and she like, this her friend. They've been dating. The guy was like, how long? Toya was like, how long y'all been dating? The guy was like 10 years. She was like, 10 years. She was like, oh, because I was about to hook her up with somebody. And she looking like Angel gonna say this man could have been about to pay my mortgage. Me and my kids would be in the street. And I was like, Toya, why would you say that? You was about to hook her up with somebody, girl. Is that for the scene? Is that for ratings, girl? You don't do no stuff like that. You need to hook yourself up with somebody. Because Eugene, I don't know if he down for the long run. I just don't know. I ain't trusting what Heavenly said about he like it. Don't nobody like being talked to like that. And it's evident because he didn't spoke about it saying he don't like it. But I just think it was just a way to be messy and it was uncalled for. But girl, I would have probably flipped that table on your ass talking, girl, you don't. But I will say this. Angel, when they asked you over at, because you know who ain't there? The other doctor, the nurse practitioner, Brandy. She wasn't in the scene. But when they asked you what was you looking for, money, good sex, this, that, and the other, you was saying no to all that. You ain't looking for an anaconda. So for you to make the reference like he could have been about to pay my mortgage, make it seem like you is looking for money, baby. Because why would that even come up, boo boo? It was a weird thing to say. You could have said something like, we could have been about to go get married or whatever, but he could have been paying your mortgage, baby. Sometimes people tell on themselves without even knowing they telling on themselves. But anyway, Toya, you weren't right, but the event went good. Everybody dancing and having a good time. It wasn't no outburst between Toya and Heavenly for a change. Everybody dancing. They said they had fun, so yeah. Good job, Heavenly, with your shady ass, shit starting ass. So we're gonna get to the meat and potatoes. So we pan to I guess what would be the next day. And Quad and King is at Quad's house, because we ain't seeing his house, but he ain't moving in. I guess he just spent the night because he don't move in women's house. So she called him and was like, I got a text, I'm nervous, you want to read it? He like, go on and read it. So basically he like, did you give me 4 boys, the heir to the kingdom and all this? So she basically says, okay, she gonna read it. So she sit down and read the text, and I don't know verbatim what it said, but in a nutshell, it's like only one of them took, but it's processing so slow that it may not reach this marula stage, and I'm probably butchering the word, and basically it was unsuccessful. So King immediately, it's like, God, I'm trying to do this for you. I'm trying to support you, but where do we go from here now? And she all emotional, like, don't do this, don't do this. She was like, it's a lot of money or whatever. So she tells him, what if you don't have to put no more money? She feels like a failure. She's very upset, but quiet, boo boo. You 45 years old trying this process, I mean, if God willing, then you will get pregnant either naturally or through all of this stuff. And King is telling her, when do you let this go? And because this stuff could break you. And she like, he telling her, let's be realistic. He was okay without having any more kids, but he did this process for you. See, that is the key word. He did this process for you, for your baby. This your baby. And she's like, she in front of all the money and everything, and she want to continue. Girl, I could imagine Ghana ain't no 4, 5, 6 hour flight. He is telling you in so many ways without trying to hurt your feelings, because he's saying it ain't about the money or whatever. It's time consuming. It's taken away. Is it a point that we say enough is enough? And she is playing on his heartstrings by saying, don't do this to me. Quiet. This man don't want no baby. He tried it. All his key words are saying, okay, I tried to do this for you, this, that, and that. You're gonna have to take that, baby. And I don't think nothing's wrong with honesty. What's wrong is when people can't accept people's honesty. They want to live in their own world. So, baby, you just gonna have to either go a different method or find you somebody that says our baby, because this your baby, according to him. And it's coming off like you not begging, but you pandering to get him to do something that he don't want to do, that he telling you, and you can't do shit but respect that, girl. Move on, adopt, find another person that want to go through this process, no matter how long it take. I don't know. So yeah, you just need to find a different way, baby, because this ain't it. This ain't it. And I don't want to be mean about it because it's an emotional situation, but baby, Yeah, I'm just saying, I would have had a baby by Greg, but I know you probably was scared the baby was gonna look like him too. No shade, Greg. Okay, how sweet to you doing? But short, nerdy, whatever. And then you got this guy who you feel like is this Adonis and got all those qualities like you like, but baby, y'all not equally yoked. And you just let him go on because I don't want to hear again on another episode he was fine with his one child. And I don't know if y'all watching the episodes with us or y'all get a couple of episodes ahead, but baby, get a realization. And if this was last year, then Quiet, you probably on your way to be 46, baby. And I seen you on New Year's with Yandy and Angel, stomach flat. So, baby, I don't know. I mean, I know you used to have your nephew all the time, and I know it ain't nothing like your own child, but baby, I don't think he the one. And that's just my opinion. And I ain't changing it. God damn it. So, but it was a good episode. Ended with the little sad news that the eggs ain't doing what they supposed to be embryos to make a baby. And sometimes God has a way of stepping in saying, not now. You got to realize that too. But anywho, this video getting too long. But that's all I got. I ain't got no more. Like, comment, subscribe, share it, tell your mama. I don't give a damn, but I'm out. Bye.